Hello?
I am. Everybody ready? Todd? Is Todd in IFB?
Hey, Steve.
I'm in IFB. I'm ready to go.
This monitor
Right-hand monitor in...
is different from that one. That one has what I need, and this one doesn't. It's not a huge deal.
Can you shut this door? We're about to do a Facebook Live.
That's weird.
Just come out to me and I'll pitch it over to James, probably.
This is having a... I don't think that's his fault.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Barry?
I can.
James?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I've got pictures of the tornado near Jonesboro, and I'll show those.
Okay. I'm going to go to James second. He's going to talk about the remnant of that storm that's left over there in eastern Arkansas, and then he can toss it to you and say, this is what happened.
We going to start with me?
You come out to me, and I'm just going to establish in the... Yep.
We are...
Hi, everybody. We're going to kind of give you an update on our storm situation tonight. There has been severe weather within the state, a tornado watch, as we figured, up in northeast Arkansas, and that's where the brunt so far of the storms have been. And the rest of the state, I think it's going to be really sporadic if we see storms later, maybe a little bit more of a line as the front comes through. There's what's left of the watch. And right now, no tornado warning left. They've issued a severe thunderstorm warning well over into eastern Arkansas. This is kind of what it looked like as it moved through the northeastern part of the state, past northeastern Jackson County. And as it went over into Craighead County, it got active, and it did drop a tornado a little bit earlier on, and that was south of Cache. It continues to move off to the southeast. The rotation not as strong as it was, nor is the hail associated with it as strong as it was, but it continues to move away. We do have other areas of storms out to the west of Little Rock, eastern Yell County. That one's trying to grow and hadn't had a lot of success so far, but it's something that we're going to watch. James, what do you see up in northeast Arkansas as far as the leftovers of that storm now?
Well, Barry, it's been very isolated. We said all day, not everybody was going to see a strong storm. And so as you take a look into northeast Arkansas, most of that stayed just to the northeast of us in the Channel 7 viewing area, that is. Did clip parts of Izard County and parts of Jackson County, and now it's getting very close to the Mississippi River. The tornado warning has been canceled. One thing we do want to keep our eye on through the evening hours is this one little storm moving through Yell County, closer to the metro area, and it's been trying to get its act together over the last 30, 45 minutes. It's now become a thunderstorm with a top at about 40,000 feet. And what we're going to watch for over these next few hours is as it approaches more unstable air over central and eastern Arkansas. This storm actually not in a favorable environment right now. Out to the west, the moisture not quite as good for strong thunderstorms. It's entirely possible this thing falls apart, and it's possible that we don't see anything else develop this evening. Barry, I don't know if you've looked at Futurecast over the last hour or so, but it's not showing much in the way of redevelopment, and I think we'll watch this, and then we'll watch for something a little bit later on in the evening, and that might be it, and I think anything we see going to be pretty isolated, but in the short term, we're going to keep an eye on this one moving from Yell into Perry County. Right now, not severe.
Yeah, and I don't know that it will be. Maybe a little more instability as the front comes right along it and begins to lift the air somewhat, but I don't think that we're going to have a big deal as far as severe weather. Hey, let's take a look at what did happen. I mentioned the tornado in northeast Arkansas. We're getting some pictures, and Todd, you have a look at that.
That's right. You know, it was about a week and a half ago that Jonesboro was hit by a tornado, and yet another tornado, this one just south of Jonesboro. Look at these pictures that came to us. This one from Brian Imfinger, our own photojournalist, and it's incredible. This is near Weiner out there in northeast Arkansas. A very photogenic tornado, and there is quite a bit of damage from what we've heard. Very preliminary. This just happened earlier this evening, but you can see that clearly on the ground, a confirmed tornado earlier there near Weiner, and it also affected the northern areas of Harrisburg in eastern Arkansas. Here's another picture. This is between Waldenburg and Harrisburg. Again, that is a tornado. The storm which produced that tornado, we don't know exactly where it started, but it was near the county line with Jackson County, somewhere right in there is when it first put down that tornado, and we were on the air covering that. But right now for the Channel 7 viewing areas, you said things are quiet at this time. I have reached out to the National Weather Service office and asked them if they are going to go survey any place in Jackson County. And just to let you know, I have not heard back from them yet, but obviously we can tell you by the pictures that that's going to be probably the 19th tornado so far this year in Arkansas, where we have a yearly average of 33, and here we are only on April the 8th, so, and going into more severe weather season to go. So right now things are quiet, thankfully, here in the Channel 7 viewing area, but it's still worth watching for the rest of the evening, Barry.
Todd, what do you think about our prospects for any organized storms later on tonight as the front plows down into the state?
Well, I think it's definitely possible. I look at the radar display that's in front of me. I use Radar Scope, and I see a lot of returns around the actual radar ground clutter. A lot of times you see that happening. There's an inversion in the atmosphere when the radar shows that, and what that means to you is that these thunderstorms, hopefully, and we hope it stays that way, are not rooted at the surface, and that's when things can get really bad. Maybe more elevated in nature. That may be wishful thinking, but I just notice a lot of clutter, and usually that means that there's some sort of inversion going on, and maybe there's this hope that they'll be elevated. But look at those storms out there on the Perry and Yell County line. They could be producing hail right now, and that may be the main threat this evening, Barry.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right on that, and I think hail will be a possibility, even with some that you wouldn't classify as necessarily a giant storm. It's going to be, as you said, a little more elevated in nature, where the warm air is just above, and we could have a lot of hail with those. We are losing some of the heat of the day, but there's plenty of heat out there. I think you just saw I was moving through the NAM 3K model, the high-definition model there, and it does show a little activity in western Arkansas coming down through the state. You can take a look at that. And then it moves into central Arkansas, not a whole lot to it. It does show some redevelopment over in eastern Arkansas from Searcy eastward, and I don't know. It's way different than another model that I just looked at, the high-res, the rapid refresh model, and it looks way different than this. It does not show any redevelopment in eastern Arkansas. In fact, I will show that to you. As we go into the evening hours, you can see the HRRR has a little bit of development, Arkansas County over into Phillips County, and then gone, and that's at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I think the storms are generally going to be pretty isolated in nature, and we're going to have just a few of those. There could be a line. I'm not saying there couldn't be some hail. I think the atmosphere is still ripe for that, but I don't think that the tornado threat is high at all with any of these. Now, having said that, we'll keep an eye on any storms that do get up and get going here, but I don't think it's going to be a great threat for tonight. Obviously, we have more coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to step you through the next couple of days and the Easter weekend. And it does look wet for part of that weekend. Part of the state could see a thunderstorm. Meteorologist James Bryan will be here over the weekend, and we're going to be looking at a part of the state, southeast Arkansas, that could be in the warm sector for a little while, and that could be an unstable air mass, but I don't think we're going to be in the bullseye of that as well. We also have video that we're going to be hopefully getting in from that storm that was over just before the sun went down over into Craighead County and into Poinsett County a little bit earlier on as it moved off to the southeast and out of our viewing area and over into the Jonesboro area a little bit earlier on. Guys, anything else that stands out to you tonight?
Just the storms that are off to the northwest of the metro area actually look like they're starting to intensify and maybe producing some small hail. And like I was saying, as they move from west central Arkansas into central Arkansas, you know it's been hot and humid out there, and it's going to take a little while for the atmosphere to cool off. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see these storms become severe. And the last time I checked, they weren't producing a ton of lightning, which is a good sign. And I'll check that right now, and maybe producing a little bit more now at this point. But right now, short term, next hour or so, that's what we're watching. And good news right now, nothing is severe.
All right, James, thanks so much. Yeah, and as other showers tried to build up over there and moved into central Arkansas, they dissipated. So the atmosphere may be stabilizing somewhat. If there are any watches issued, we don't really anticipate that, but we'll have that for you. And hour by hour, new model information coming in right now. So thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. and we're going to continue to be watching these storms anytime during this weird time that we're living in. Anytime that we have a significant severe weather threat, one of us at least will be in the studio. Otherwise, we're going to be broadcasting from home. We thank you for your trust during this time. I know a lot of you are home and are watching for, can I get out? Can I take a walk? Can I get outside? There's a lot of rain on and off, but we try to do just like we do here, cover the weather, but from home. So we appreciate that. Again, we'll be on live here in about 45 minutes on Channel 7 News at 10. I hope everybody has a healthy and safe night, and we will be back with, again, hopefully some good video of what was a horrible storm, I'm afraid, up in northeast Arkansas. It did do damage, and we're going to have that from meteorologist Brian Imfiger. So thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live, everybody.